If I woke up tomorrow 30 pounds overweight with low energy, soft around the edges, and uncomfortable in my clothes, and I needed to drop the fats very quickly without destroying my hormones, my metabolism, losing muscle, or living on only chicken, broccoli, and rice, here is exactly what I would do because this is not theory. I have run 6 marathons. I've competed in 3 bodybuilding shows, and I've done 2 High Rocks competitions. And I've helped hundreds of busy, career-driven men drop 30, all the way up to 50 pounds, some even up to 100 pounds, all without sacrificing their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym, and especially that stupid treadmill. And if I had to start all over again, this will be my blueprint from top to bottom. Now, I've personally cut for bodybuilding shows, gotten stage lean, then build the muscle again, and coached busy men juggling careers with kids, wives, and stress through massive transformations. And by the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step system to drop 30 pounds quickly, but sustainably, which hopefully is the most important part, because who cares about losing weight fast if you cannot sustain it? Cool, you drop 30 pounds, but then the following week you gain it all back again because you have not turned into the person who can sustain those results, right? So I'm going to walk you through the nutrition strategy, the training strategy, the lifestyle multipliers, which so many people overlook, and then lastly, the psychological shift no one talks about. So let's start with the biggest driver. Point number one, I'd create a deficit that doesn't actually feel like one. Hopefully, we all know by now that in order to lose body fat, you have to eat less calories than you burn, not just on a daily basis, but on a weekly, monthly, sometimes even yearly basis, depending on where you're starting from. You cannot break the rules of thermodynamics. It doesn't matter what diet you follow, what juice cleanse, detox tea, trends, challenge you follow. What all of these have in common, keto, carnivore, vegan, whatever diet you look or see online, they have this one thing in common. They put you in a calorie deficit. They make you eat less calories than you burn. That is it. And now most people try to lose 30 pounds with pure grits, nitty gritty willpower. I would not do that because I'm honestly a pretty lazy person. And I think we all are to some extent. Human beings are lazy, right? We live in 2026. Everything is just so convenient. We got phones, we got apps, we got Uber Eats, we got dating apps, we got just everything is just literally a finger tap away. You want to travel somewhere, you want to go somewhere, you want to just do anything, tap, 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 boom, there you go, right? We don't have to hunt for food. We don't have to whatever, like run across the streets to do, like we can literally do everything just from the comfort of our own homes, essentially, right? And so I'd create an environment that is conducive towards me losing body fat as easy and convenient as possible, because research consistently shows, specifically when it comes to your diet, that food volume, so the amount of volume you eat in your food, your protein intake and fiber intake dramatically improve your satiety and adherence during fat loss. And so knowing that, here's what I would implement immediately. Step number one, I would anchor protein at every meal. So imagine you have a plate of food, a big, or at least the first parts of that plate when you build your own plate, protein. Look for protein. Protein increases your fullness, preserves muscle mass, and raises thermic effect of food, meaning that your body literally burns more calories digesting protein to some extent. It's not going to be a huge game changer, 9-day difference, but it is true. Now, I would target at the very least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That means eggs, chicken, lean beef, Greek yogurt, or protein shakes. And then step number two, I would replace the calorie-dense foods with high-volume food swaps. A lot of people think that they need to take things away from their diet, but if you can replace those things with more volume of food, it doesn't even feel like you're dieting. It literally feels like you're doing the opposite, where you're quite literally eating more food while losing more fat. And who doesn't want to feel like you're eating more food while simultaneously losing more fat? And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They don't know what to eat, how much to eat. And unfortunately, some foods that you may think are healthy are actually causing you to gain fat because they're very calorically dense. They're very easy to overconsume and overeat. Think of your peanut butter, your granolas, your nuts, handful of seeds, easy 300-400 calories if you're not careful. And it's so easy to get down, but you are sitting here thinking that, oh, this is healthy because my doctor told me to eat almonds. But you can very easily overeat almonds, right? So it's not about like necessarily taking food away from your diet. It's just being able to be food aware enough in order to replace those foods with higher volume, lower calorie foods that actually do fill you up and help you stay in a calorie deficit. So think of having regular potatoes over French fries, or having frozen berries over desserts, or having lean meats over fatty cuts. You get the exact same satisfaction for far fewer calories. And I've had clients literally drop up to 10 pounds without counting a single calorie, but just by simply making these food swaps, which I would say is the biggest lever that you can pull right away if you're too lazy or too unaware or too uninformed to start counting your calories. If you want to have like the most accurate, precise results, yes, you should track, because if you ain't tracking, you are slacking. But if you insist on tracking your food, simply making these small little food swaps can make a huge difference. Same thing with the liquid calories. These are sneaky, very, very sneaky. Replace your sugary drinks for 0-calorie alternatives. When you cook your meals, instead of drenching your meals in olive oil, use a non-stick cooking spray. All these small little things can actually add up to saving you hundreds, if not thousands of extra calories throughout the day, throughout the week, which therefore can help you get you in a calorie deficit and lose fat automatically. Step number 3, build repeatable meals. Decision fatigue kills fat loss. Now, when I caught for bodybuilding shows, I rotated the same meals daily, not because I necessarily had to, but because it worked. And it's literally got rid of all my decision fatigue, especially when it came around food. We make thousands of decisions every single day, and most of them revolve around food. And these are all just subconscious thoughts that we don't really give thought to, but we do. And it drains your brain power. It drains your energy, right? Without you realizing it, you're thinking about, as soon as you wake up, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What is in the fridge? Do we have enough milk? Do I have my favorite cereal? When do I need to go grocery shopping? Do I have my grocery shopping list? What are my snacks going to be at work? Do I have enough snacks? Does work have snacks? Oh, today's Friday. They're bringing out donuts. What am I going to eat for lunch? Where should we go for lunch? Are we going to get takeout? Are we going to order some food? Should we have sushi? Should I do my meal prep? Like all these thoughts without even realizing it. And then by the end of the day, you are just completely wrecked. You are tired. And then guess what you do? You sit on your couch after a long day at work. You go on your phone. You see an ad on Pizza Hut, Domino's Pizza. You order a pizza because you're just too tired to cook a meal, or you were too lazy throughout the week to do your meal prep. Right? Whereas if you have repeatable meals on a repeatable basis and you prep those meals, or better yet, you order those meals online from Icon Meals, right? Where you can literally batch order either protein sources, which is what I do. I batch order like a bunch of chicken breast, a bunch of beef and salmon, and I just have it ready in my fridge. And all I have to do is just microwave it, add some frozen veggies, and boom, there you go. Healthy, high volume meal that keeps you full for hours, high in volume, high in protein. That's going to help you reach your goals as opposed to taking you further away from your goals. The same habits, right? The same habit of ordering food. Like if you're in the habit of ordering food every single day, just simply go to a different food ordering app. Instead of going to DoorDash or Uber Eats or Domino's, go to Icon Meals, right? Of course, I'm going to be biased because I have a code with them. And if you use code Conan, you get to save 25% off your entire order. Just a quick little plug there in case you guys want to save some money while eating healthy. But yeah, you can order ready-made meals or just order a bunch of protein, create your own meals from scratch. But yeah, if you just have those meals on a repeatable basis, you don't think about your meals, you don't think about what to eat, you just eat it and therefore lose fat automatically, right? And it works. It definitely works. And clients who eat repeatable meals lose weight a whole lot faster with way less stress. And who doesn't want to lose fat with less stress? I do. I'm sure you do as well, right? Because fat loss speed isn't about friction. It's about reducing friction. The less friction there is involved, the easier, the smoother it'll be, right? And now you want to do the opposite with the unhealthy food. Add more friction to eating unhealthy, right? So how can we make it as difficult as possible to eat junk food, to eat crap food? Well, we should probably not have it in our environment. We should probably not have it in our fridge, in our cupboards, right? Like if you are a single man or a woman, there is absolutely no, especially if your goal is fat loss. Like if you're 20 pounds, 50 pounds overweight, and you actually have aspirations of losing that weight one day, don't tempt yourself. Like it is so crazy. Like if aliens were to invade planet Earth and they knew that you, John, you, Janet, were trying to lose body fat, but then they go into your environment, into your kitchen, into your cupboard, into your freezer, and they see that you have frozen pizzas piled up, they see you have an entire sleeve of Oreos in your pantry, they'd be like, are human beings crazy? You're literally just shooting yourself in the foot. You are making it 10 times harder on yourself to lose weight. Why is this in your kitchen? They will think you're idiotic, stupid, moronic, whatever you want to say. And it is crazy. Why would you tempt yourself with that? Get it out of your environment. Add as much friction as possible. Lock it up, hide it. Better yet, completely get rid of it. I have nothing, literally nothing in my kitchen. Like I'm looking at my pantry, looking at my freezer. There's nothing in there apart from meal prepped meals, fruits, veggies. That is it. And now I am not a maniac. I am not a psychopath. I am not the type of person who only eats just meal prepped meals all the time. Of course not. I love eating sushi. I love food in general. I'm a big foodie. I used to be a chubby kid growing up. I used to be obsessed with food, quite honestly. And I enjoy trying out different meals, trying out different flavors. But here's the thing. I add friction to it. So now if I do want to go out to eat, if I want to go out to a restaurant, well, first of all, I make a couple rules to myself. I never eat out on my own. I find it a waste of time, a waste of money. I view eating out as an experience, not as something like, oh, I need to eat something. Let me just grab something quick. Like, no, I think that's a complete waste. If you need something quick, go back home and eat your meal prep. Like it's not, you don't need anything fancy. But if you're going on a date, for example, if you want to treat your kids for a meal, if you want to treat your friends for a meal or just have a nice little get together, then yes, like I'm going to schedule something in advance, put it on my calendar. I'm going to look forward to it. I'm going to look on the menu online. I'm going to pick out my favorite meal, whatever it may be. I'm going to create an event out of it, right? But as you can tell, there's a lot of friction involved there where now I got to make a reservation. I got to like put on some nice clothes. I got to call my friends or call a date on whoever I want to eat dinner with, right? I got to set it all up. It's not something that I can just do on a whim, for example, right? So as you can tell, there's a lot of steps involved towards me eating more like higher calorie foods, restaurant type of foods, right? So moral of the story here, add friction to unhealthy food and decrease friction, add less friction to eating healthy food. As simple as that. Point number 2, we've talked about nutrition to make it as easy as possible to put yourself in a calorie deficit. Now let's talk about training, the working out part of things. And I think, especially as guys, that is the fun part, right? We love working hard, grunting, screaming in a gym. Yeah. I mean, it's like, makes us feel like a man, right? But I will train like an athlete and not like a fat burner. And here's what I mean. Because most people trying to lose 30 pounds become cardio machines. And that used to be me too. I would go into the gym and I wouldn't even look at the weights. I would go immediately to the back of the gym where all the treadmills were, and I would just run my ass to the ground. Run until I was out of breath, started sweating a bit. I'm like, okay, cool. Sweat means I'm burning fat, right? Okay, awesome. Let me just keep on doing this until I feel kind of tired. And then when I felt kind of tired, which was just super just spontaneous, sometimes it was after 10 minutes, sometimes after 15, 20 minutes. If I was listening to like a motivational song at the time, maybe it was all the way up to 30 minutes. However long I lasted, I would go until I was tired, and then I would stop. And that was it. I wouldn't even look at the weights. I wouldn't touch the weights. I'd be just stuck to the treadmill. And guess what happened? Yes, I lost weight, but I lost muscle too. A lot of it. And guess what? How I looked. I looked like the average marathon runner. Skinny fat, low muscle mass, semi-high body fat still, frail, skinny arms, skinny legs, still like a big stomach. That's not what you want. No, we want the opposite. We want the X frame, broad shoulders, big upper chest, big back, big lats, big arms, big quads, small, narrow waist. That's what we want. And you don't get that by running on a treadmill every single day. You want to view cardio, whatever form of cardio you want to do, whether it's on a treadmill, elliptical, Stairmaster, which we don't have any of our clients do unless they want to, of course, but most people dread it. Let's be honest here. Unless you're a marathon runner and you have to do it, which, by the way, I am a marathon runner. I've done 6 already. I prefer running outside, to be honest. I hate the treadmill. And this is coming from a marathon runner, right? But going back to what I said, most of our clients don't even look at the treadmill. We have them increase their daily step count, right? Their daily average steps through an Apple Watch, Fitbit, however they want to keep track of their steps. And we just have them live an active lifestyle. But anyway, going back to the workouts. Most people trying to lose weight, specifically body fat, become cardio machines. And that is a brutal mistake because muscle is a metabolic insurance. Studies show resistance training preserves lean muscle and improves long-term weight maintenance. So here's what I would do. Step 1, I would lift, for myself personally, 4 to 6 days per week. Now you can obviously do a bit less than that if your schedule is too busy. We have some clients do all the way as little as two workouts per week at home, 45-minute sessions. And that is plenty, especially if you know what you're doing and you're bringing the intensity and you're progressively overloading. 2 workouts a week with a proper nutrition plan and good lifestyle habits and a bit of cardio. You're going to be a fat burning machine without ever stepping foot on the treadmill. Now, I would lift weights not to burn calories, but to preserve identity. And here's what I mean. When you train hard, you eat like someone who trains hard. Step number 2, add low friction movement. So here's what I said, going back to what my clients do. They don't do marathon runs. They don't do high intensity interval training that beats up their joints and connective tissues. No. Steps, daily walking. Anyone can do it at any time. Movement between tasks, walking meetings, while you're texting friends, while you're watching a movie, whatever, standing treadmill, whatever you can do to be active, to move your body. Because research shows that your NEAT, which stands for your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, can account for hundreds of calories burned daily. And many clients lose weight without adding cardio, just increasing their daily steps. And it's fun, right? It's like you get to do it with other people. You get to be productive. You get to multitask, especially during the summertime. I like saying this to my clients, but I'm literally killing 4 birds with 1 stone, where I'll walk outside, number 1, burn calories. I take off my shirt so I get to tan my body. I get some vitamin D with the sunlight exposure. I listen to my favorite podcast so I get to learn something new. So as you can tell, I'm literally killing 4 birds with 1 stone. With 1 simple action, I'm doing multiple things. If I don't listen to a podcast, I'll call a friend. I'll call a family member. I'll do a walking meeting. I'll text a couple people. I'll brainstorm. Walking is honestly one of the most underrated things you can do, not just to lose body fat, but just to clear your mind, reduce some stress. So many people are stressed out at work, stressed out in their relationships, with their friendships, yet they never go on a walk outside. Get some fresh air. Get some vitamin D. Not only will you be burning calories, you'll get some other benefits from that too. If more people would just walk, I think the world will just be a much better place. We live in this just glued to our phone society where no one really goes outside anymore, no sunlight. We wake up first thing in the morning. We don't view or seek immediate sunlight. We go straight to our phone. We're just glued to our phones at all times. But if you can get some natural sunlight, especially first thing in the morning, your mood is going to be drastically increased. Step number 3, strategic cardio. So we're not aimlessly just going to be doing cardio, if anything. But if we have to do some cardio to burn a couple of extra calories, which, by the way, I want you to view cardio as a tool and not a necessity. But when it comes to the strategic form of cardio, runs, incline walks, cycling, not punishments, but once again, a tool. When I prepare for marathons while staying lean, yes, cardio becomes capacity building, but not compensation. And now fat loss is accelerated when I stopped trying to burn body fat and started trying to become more athletic. And so if you can somehow try to, instead of thinking of cardio as punishment, think of it as something to improve your cardiovascular health, your heart health. Because once you view it as something other than burning body fat, if you're doing strict form of cardio, right, running, whatever, you'll start to associate it with something else, something greater than just fat loss. And it starts to not be viewed as punishment as much, but more so as like a performance enhancer, right? Like this is going to help me be healthier. This is going to help me improve my workouts. This is going to help me improve my sex life because I can last longer in bed. And I'm not joking. Like it's definitely a real thing, right? Point number 3, I would optimize the multipliers no one talks about. You're probably wondering to yourself, Conan, what the heck did you just say? Multipliers no one talks about? Like, we're talking about fat loss here. I'm trying to lose 30 pounds. What are you talking about? Multipliers no one tracks or talks about. So here's what separates people who lose 30 pounds and keep it off. Sleep, stress, and identity. Huge emphasis on the word identity. Step 1, sleep 7 to 9 hours each night. Sleep deprivation increases hunger hormones and reduces impulse control. You don't lack discipline. You lack recovery. Nail that in. Do not sleep on your sleep. Step number 2, control your environment. No snacks on the counter. Meals prepped in your fridge. Protein ready. Behavior follows environment. We talked about this earlier, but the more easier you can make it to eat healthy, the easier fat loss becomes. Step number 3, the identity shift. This is the biggest one. When clients stop trying to lose weight and start trying to become the type of person, someone who trains hard, eats intentionally, healthy, and takes care of their body, and they view themselves as that, everything changes because behavior flows from identity. If you tell yourself you are a pro athlete, you're going to think twice about eating that bag of chips. You're going to think twice about skipping that workout. You're going to think twice about missing out on your sleep because you view yourself as an elite athlete now. And by you identifying yourself as that, you start to take actions as that type of person. This is more of like a psychological hack. But if you tell your brain that you are the type of person who does the thing, your body will kind of follow. Like same thing in the gym. Like if you, like your mind is so strong, it's just your body. Or actually, I don't know if it goes the other way around, but if you can somehow convince your brain that you are the type of person, whoever you want to be, your body will follow. Like your body is capable of so much. It's just your brain that you have to convince. So for example, at the gym, you may stop when things start to burn, a couple reps shy of failure. But if you can convince yourself, convince in your head, convince your brain that, hey, I got 1 more rep. I got 2 more reps left. Let's do 3 more. You'd be surprised. You'd surprise yourself. You can actually do those extra 1, 2, 3, 4 reps. But we just often set these, and not just in a gym, but like in life in general, like just like these ceilings of like, hey, anything above this, it's like uncharted territory. Like, no, we don't go beyond this. But like how are records meant to be broken from an athletic perspective, from a business, like from any perspective, really? Well, it's like you got to keep on increasing the ceiling. But I just think, yeah, just from our environment, our upbringing, our childhood, like whatever you want to stem it from, like we set these arbitrary deadlines, these arbitrary ceilings to this is what I'm capable of. Anything above this is like out of the picture. It's not even comprehensible. Like it's not even something we think about, right? This could be due to the people you spend the most time with, your family members, your friends who put these ceilings on you. But you could go beyond that. Like just because your parents were overweight does not mean you have to be overweight. Just because your parents weren't working out or eating healthy or exercising doesn't mean you don't have to. Just because your friends don't do any of these things doesn't mean you don't have to. And I think the biggest thing when it comes to like actually changing is auditing your circle, your family members. Of course, you can't get rid of those. Like, of course, you should keep your family close and love them for whoever they are. But specifically your friends, like there's no like contract there that you have to stay with them. And especially if you know that they're dragging you down and they label you as a fat person, but you no longer want to associate or view yourself as a fat person, well, maybe time to kind of disassociate yourself from them, because believe it or not, they will drag you down and they will keep you to that lower level, whether you like it or not. And this happened to me. It wasn't until I changed my social circle from a very early age. I know this is way back in high school in hindsight. I didn't know it exactly, but I knew that they were dragging me down. So, and I was a chubby kid growing up. I was a skinny fat kid. And they viewed me as that. And so whenever I tried to change, They'd be like crabs in a bucket and say, hey, you're not that type of person. You go to the gym, let's make fun of you. Like, no, you don't go to the gym. You come and hang out with us. You go out to parties. You drink whatever you drink. You eat junk food. Come on, be with us, right? Because them seeing you try to change makes them uncomfortable. And so you're going to either have to accept the fact that you will never reach your goals because of your friends, or you're going to have to get rid of those friends, which, by the way, I don't really think are friends if they're keeping you back from reaching your goals, and focus on yourself. Like, it sounds like a selfish thing, but I would rather go through life having accomplished every single one of my goals rather than have a group of 5 to 10 people who, sure, I may have some laughs with, a couple fun memories, but there's nothing like really deep there. There's nothing like, no value there. They never really offered or gave me anything other than maybe some short-term gratification. My goals are very important to me, and so they should be for you as well. And if they're not, then totally cool. But then just don't be upset with the results you don't have, with the work you didn't put in, due to the people that are holding you back. Just be aware of that, because this is the biggest thing that sets so many people back. They associate themselves with other people. They hang around fat people, wondering why they are the 6th fat person. Look at your circle and make the wise choice. Okay, point number 4, the psychological truth about dropping 30 pounds fast. Here's the part that no one tells you. Losing 30 pounds quickly isn't physically hard. It's emotionally hard, because you'll eat differently than your friends, than your coworkers, than your family members. You'll say no to things. You'll feel maybe slightly alone at times. Just like marathon training, just like building a business, just like becoming the leader of your household. But on the other side of that, you get more energy, you get more confidence, you get more respect, presence with your family. And that version of you, it's already there. You just haven't built it yet and built the habits yet. So if you're watching this thinking, I know exactly what I need to do, I just can't seem to actually do it and execute on it consistently, that's where we can help, because we work with busy, career-driven men who want to drop 30 to 50 pounds, all without sacrificing their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. And if you want help building a plan, your plan, and actually following through on it this time, you can book a free consultation call with me down below, where we'll go over your current goals, we'll go over your current struggles, and create a game plan together to help you absolutely demolish them in the next 3 to 6 months. If that sounds good to you, the link will be in the description down below, and I'll see you all there. Peace.